Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namami buddhang gunasagarantam santa sada hontu sukhi avera. Kayo jigunjo sakalo dugandho gaccanti sabbe maranang ahanche. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Atti bhikkhave abhiññā bhāve tamba samato ca vipassana ca. Dear friends in the Dhamma, nuns, today we are gathering for the Ovada day or Uposatha day. As Buddhist monks, on the Uposatha day we gather and also we discuss the Buddha's Dhamma and Vinaya. At this moment, I am going to explain Buddhist meditation, Samatha and Vipassana, Tranquility and Insight meditation. The main purpose of all the doctrines what the Blessed One explained focus on our mental purification of our mind. Why do we need to purify our mind? When our mind is impure, we have no real happiness. The more we purify our mind, the more we are happier. According to Buddha's message, the highest way that we can reduce our negative thoughts from our mind is that practicing meditation, mental culture. That is the direct way to purify our mind. There are three unwholesome mental states that disturb our peace of mind: craving, anger, and delusion. By practicing Dhamma, especially by practicing meditation, we focus on our mind to overcome these negative thoughts from our mind. The Buddha says, as a wise person, the highest qualities that we can practice in our life are those samatocha vipassanacha, tranquility and insight meditation. The purpose of practicing samatha bhavana or tranquility meditation is to reduce hindrances. There are 5 hindrances that disturb our peace of mind: kamachanda, sensual pleasure; vyapada, ill will; tinamidda, sloth and torpor; uddhaca kukucca, restlessness and worry; and vicikicca, skeptical doubts. These are the negativities, those disturb our peace of mind. By practicing Dhamma, especially by practicing meditation, we reduce these negative thoughts from our mind. Especially by practicing Samatha Bhavana, we reduce these negative thoughts from our mind. And also by practicing insight meditation or Vipassana Bhavana, we directly focus on ignorance or avidya, the main cause of suffering. The Buddha says, Suffering definitely comes to the person who are ignorant. Suffering never comes to the person who is wise and mindful. Therefore, always we should keep our mind in mindfulness and wisdom. By practicing meditation, we always keep our attention in the present moment. At the same time, we reflect on the reality. We reflect on our life, what happens to my body and mind in the present moment. For that, first of all, Buddha encouraged us to gain the knowledge or wisdom. Especially, we should have correct vision before we start our spiritual path, spiritual practice. The Buddha says, whenever our mind is impure, we are suffering. Suffering comes to us. Whenever mind is pure, happiness follows us. This is the main thing that we should understand. On the other side, Buddha says very clearly, whenever we are ignorant, if we don't know the reality, what happens to the world, then our mind is fixed in the outside material world, and also we have sufferings from the outside world. In this situation, first of all, we have the correct vision. With the vision, we start our spiritual journey with sila or virtue, discipline in our speech and behavior. When we speak, when we behave, when we do something physically, we should think again and again whether it is correct. Discipline or the sila is the foundation of spiritual path. That is why the Buddha says, Sile patittahaya naro sapanyo chittang panyancha bhavayam. The wise person, having virtuous life, practice samatha and vipassana, tranquility and insight meditation. The very first thing is very important, sila, virtue or moral conduct. When we behave something, when we speak something, when we do something, we should think again and again whether it is correct. With this understanding, we go to the next step, that the discipline in our behavior. When we do something physically, we should think again and again whether it is correct. That is very important. Having this virtuous life, discipline in our speech and behavior, little by little, we concentrate our mind using some samatha bhavana. There are 40 meditation techniques in Buddhism as samatha bhavana, such as metta bhavana, loving kindness meditation, anapanasati bhavana, mindful breathing or breathing meditation, etc. There are 40 meditation techniques that help us to concentrate our mind. Especially at the beginning of the path, we usually practice metta bhavana, loving kindness meditation, contemplating on thus, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. We start it in our place where we are living in. May all beings at this monastery be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings in this city be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings in this country, in this continent, in this planet, in this solar system, in this galaxy, in this universe, Little by little, we spread loving kindness thoughts to everyone, those who are in this world. With this understanding, our mind becomes very calm and quiet. Then we are happier since our mind is very calm and quiet. Then we can practice Anapanasati Bhavana, mindful breathing. According to Buddha's message, practicing breathing meditation or Anapanasati Bhavana is highly appreciated in Buddhism. We keep our attention in the present moment. At the same time, we are aware of our breathing in and out. When we breathe in, we are aware of that now I am breathing in. When we breathe out, we are aware of that now I am breathing out. When we practice breathing meditation, little by little, we can develop our mind. We can purify our mind. We are able to concentrate our mind. We can see the beauty of our mind, beauty of our life. The more we concentrate our mind with Anapanasati Bhavana, the more we purify our mind. The more we purify our mind from negativities, the more we are happier. The more we are happier, the more we practice Dhamma. Practice and happiness are interrelated. When we are happy, we practice Dhamma. When we practice Dhamma, we are happier. Happiness and practice are interrelated. What is the reason? That is the nature of the Dhamma. Buddha says the qualities of the Dhamma. Swakahato Bhagavata Dhammo. Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One. How did the Buddha explain Dhamma? Adi Kalyanam, Madhya Kalyanam, Pariyosane Kalyanam. Excellent is beginning, excellent is middle, excellent is end. What is the beginning of the Dhamma? The beginning is the Sila or virtue, discipline in our speech and behavior. What is the middle? The middle is Samatha or Tranquility meditation. And what is the end? The end is Panya, wisdom. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. The Buddha explained his message according to these three disciplines: virtue, tranquility, and insight meditation or wisdom. And also the second quality of the Dhamma is that Sandittika. Sandittika means we can see the results in this immediate life if we practice Dhamma according to what the Blessed One explained. Sandittika, visible results. We can see the results of our practice in Dhamma in this immediate life. And also Akalika, immediately effective. The more we practice Dhamma, the more immediately we can see the results. For an example, when we contemplate on thus may all beings be well, happy and peaceful, at that moment we have overcome suffering. When we are aware of our breathing in and out, at the moment, because of our mindfulness, we have no suffering. We have overcome suffering. And also, if we practice insight meditation, every moment, my body arises and ceases. My mind also arises and ceases. It is impermanent. Everything is impermanent. Now, sometimes we are unhappy, but that mental state also is impermanent. It is not permanent. Previously we were happy, now sometimes we are unhappy. Next time we will be happy. That is the nature of our mind. Happiness or suffering is not permanent. It is impermanent. Every moment our mind changes since it is impermanent. Every moment my body arises and ceases, and also my mind every moment arises and ceases. This is the nature of impermanence, what the Blessed One explained. As the result of this practice, we again and again come to the practice. And also we are inspired by practicing Dhamma and having the results of practicing Dhamma. Buddha says, as a wise person, the highest qualities that we can practice are tranquility and insight meditation. The purpose of practicing Samatha Bhavana is that keeping our attention in the present moment, we cultivate positive thoughts in our mind. Loving kindness, mindfulness, confidence or saddha. These are the positive thoughts that we develop when we practice Samatha Bhavana. As the result of practicing Samatha Bhavana, we are able to overcome negative thoughts from our mind, such as sensual pleasure and ill will. As the result of practicing this path, gradually we develop our inner peace, and also our mind gradually gains concentration. As the result of practicing tranquility, when mind gains concentration, we reflect on impermanence, the nature of the world, the reality of the world. Samahito bhikkhave bhikkhu yatha bhutam pajanati. When a monk gains concentration, he reflects on impermanence, the world reality as it is. This is the nature of the Dhamma. This is the way how we practice Dhamma. In one side, we have discipline in our speech and behavior. On the other side, we practice Dhamma. The first step of practicing Dhamma is that Samatha or tranquility meditation. And also when mind gains concentration, we reflect on impermanence. Every moment, my body arises and ceases. My mind also arises and ceases. When we go to the deeper level, we understand the 5 aggregates: Rupa, form, Vedana, feeling, Sanya, perception, Sankhara, mental formations, and Vijnana, consciousness. Every moment, these 5 things arise and also they immediately cease. Whatever we experience through our senses, these 5 aggregates arise and cease. When we understand something, behind that experience, we can see these 5 things. These 5 things arise together, they cease together. But we don't see this reality. When we listen to Buddha's message, we understand behind everything, these 5 things can be seen. When we see something, when we hear something, When we taste something, when we smell something, when we touch something, if we experience something, behind this experience, we can see these 5 things. These 5 things are the foundation of our all experiences that we receive through our 5 senses. These 5 things work together, and also they arise when the causes arise. When causes cease, these 5 things are also cease. This is the nature of impermanence. This is the nature of all the experiences that we receive through our senses. If we have this understanding, we see only thing which happens in the world is that impermanence arising and ceasing. Arising, ceasing. When we think something, these 5 things arise and they immediately cease. Arise, cease. Finally, we understand the 4 things we can see always. Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Whatever we understand, it means Manancha, Paticca, Dhammecha, Uppajjati, Manoviññānam. Mind and mental formations. Then mind consciousness or Manoviññāna. This is our life. When we recognize something through our mind consciousness or Manoviññāna, the very first experience, which consists with form, have already ceased. This is the reality. If we can pay our attention in this reality, our mind is released from the material world of persons. We understand every moment we deal with our mind, mental formations, and mind consciousness. When we deal something with our mind consciousness, the form or material world or the external world has already ceased. This is the Buddhist path, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Buddha says, as a wise person, the highest qualities what we can practice are Samatocha, Vipassanacha, tranquility and insight meditation based on Sila or virtue. Sile patittahaya naro sapanyo chittang panyancha bhavayam. The wise person, based on virtue, practices tranquility and insight meditation in order to overcome suffering and all the problems. For that, again and again, we have to associate with the good friends. Through the good friends, we should listen to Dhamma again and again, what the Buddha explained. And also, according to what we heard, we should develop wise consideration or wise reflection, yoniso manasikara. And also, having yoniso manasikara, we come to practice Patipada or Dhammanudhamma Patipatti, Samatha and Vipassana. For our spiritual life, day by day, we should increase the duration of practicing samatha and vipassana. According to Buddhism, we can see many samatha meditation techniques. There are 40 meditation techniques that we can see in Buddhist teachings. According to our interest, according to our characters, we can choose any meditation technique what we like. Sometimes we like to practice Buddhanussati Bhavana, the contemplation of qualities of the Buddha. Sometimes we like to practice Dhatu Manasikara, the contemplation of four fundamental elements. Sometimes we like to practice Metta Bhavana, loving kindness meditation. Sometimes we like to practice Marananusati, the contemplation of death. Sometimes we like to practice Anapanasati Bhavana, breathing meditation. According to our interest in and wishes, we can choose any meditation technique and also we can develop it gradually day by day. The more we practice meditation, the more we are happier. The more we are happier, the more we practice meditation. Practicing meditation and happiness are interrelated. We always give the priority to practice meditation. As the result of practicing this path, we are so happy. We always live with the triple gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. We always contemplate on the qualities of the Blessed One, Buddhanussati Bhavana. Itipiso Bhagavarahang, such indeed the exalted one, worthy, Samma Sambuddho, supremely enlightened, Vijacharana Sampanno, endowed with knowledge and conduct, Sugato, well gone, Lokavidu, knower of the world, Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati, incomparable trainer of persons to be tamed, Sattaha Deva Manusanam, the supreme teacher of deities and men, Buddha enlightened and Bhagava exalted. We recollect these qualities again and again. We contemplate on these qualities of the Blessed One again and again. Then we see that, we feel that we are living near the Buddha. We are near the Buddha. And also we contemplate on the qualities of the Dhamma, Dhammanusati. Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One, visible results, immediately effective, calling one to come and see, leading onwards, and to be personally realized by the wise. These are the qualities of Dhamma. Whenever we recollect on the qualities of the Dhamma, it means we are living with the Dhamma. And also we contemplate on the qualities of the noble ones, noble disciples, Bhikkhu Bhikkhuni. They always practice Dhamma. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. The community of the Mahasangha have come to this path and also they practice this Dhamma and also they are the supreme field of merits for the world. Anuttaram Punyakethan Lokassa. These three things, the triple gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, whenever we practice Dhamma, then we are so happy. Since we are not alone. Whenever we don't contemplate on the triple gem, we are alone. But whenever we recollect on the qualities of the triple gem, we are not alone. We are with the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Then our world is filled with happiness. We are happier. We are so happy having these three things. These are the priceless things in this world, valuable things in this world. And also, finally, we always practice insight meditation, vipassana bhavana. All conditioned things are impermanent. All conditioned things are dissatisfactory or suffering. All phenomena are selfless. He who sees this reality with wisdom overcomes suffering. This is the path to purity. Always we reflect on that sabbe sankhara anicca. All conditioned things are impermanent. Sabbe sankhara dukkha. All conditioned things are dissatisfactory or suffering. And sabbe dhamma anatta. All phenomena are selfless. If we see this reality with wisdom, we always keep our attention in the present moment, reflecting on impermanence. Every moment, my mind arises and ceases. Every moment, my body also arises and ceases. Every moment, my mind arises and ceases. Every moment, my body arises and ceases. And again we think that, we reflect on that, all the five aggregates arise and cease. Arise in, cease in. Rupa, form, Vedana, feeling, Sanya, perception, Sankhara, mental formations, and Vijnana, consciousness. These five things arise and cease. They are always arising, ceasing, arising, ceasing. Whenever we recollect on this reality, the nature of five aggregates, our mind releases from the outside material world. At the same time, our mind releases from the inside or mental formations or mind consciousness. That is the wisdom, that is the purification of our mind, that is the end of suffering, that is the freedom, emancipation, liberation or enlightenment. Day by day, we should go forward on this path. Buddha says, dwell with yourself as an island, as a refuge, with no other refuge. Again Buddha says, dwell with the Dhamma as an island, as a refuge, with no other refuge. This is the liberation, what the Blessed One explained. In this situation, day by day, we should go forward on this path. It means we are on the path of the purification of our mind. By practicing this Dhamma, we purify our mind from craving, anger, and finally delusion or ignorance. Finally, we understand our real friend is that mindfulness or satipatthana. Whenever we are mindful, we are away from suffering, since we are contemplating on the reality of our life. Whenever we reflect on the reality of our life, we are away from suffering, since we are mindful. Therefore, practicing mindfulness is highly appreciated by the Supreme Buddha. Whenever we are mindful, we have made a refuge within us. Mindfulness is the real refuge, friend, protection, and refuge in our life. Therefore, we should give the priority to practice mindfulness. Based on mindfulness, we practice concentration and insight meditation, or samatha and vipassana bhavana. Finally, we meet the main meditation technique in Buddhism is that breathing meditation or anapanasati bhavana. The Buddha says very clearly, when a person practices mindful breathing, he develops fourfold mindfulnesses: Kayanupassana, Vedanupassana, Chittanupassana, Dhammanupassana. The contemplation of body, the contemplation of feelings, the contemplation of mind, and the contemplation of mental formations or mind objects. When we practice fourfold mindfulness, the 7 enlightenment factors gradually develop, cultivate. They are Sati Sambojjhanga, Dhammavicaya Sambojjhanga, Viriya Sambojjhanga, Piti Sambojjhanga, Passadi Sambojjhanga, Samadhi Sambojjhanga, and Upekkaha Sambojjhanga. These are the 7 enlightenment factors. That is very important. As the result of this path, day by day, we purify our mind, especially from ignorance. Whenever we are mindful, we have overcome ignorance. Whenever we have overcome ignorance, we have overcome suffering. That is why the Supreme Buddha says, suffering definitely comes to the person who is unwise, who has no wisdom. Suffering never comes to the person who is wise and mindful. Therefore, if we want to overcome suffering, we should completely live in mindfulness and wisdom. Keeping our attention in the present moment, mindfully, we reflect on impermanence, arising and ceasing of 5 aggregates, 6 internal senses, 6 external objects, and 18 elements, Attarasa Dhatu. Everything is impermanent. Everything arises and ceases. When conditions arise, these things arise. When conditioned things cease, these things also cease. This is the nature of impermanence. Not being occurred comes to occurrence. Being occurred will not go to occurrence. Ahutva sambhutang hutva na bhavisati. This is the nature of everything. What are the everything? Our body and mind, 5 aggregates, 6 senses, 6 objects, 18 elements. These are the everything. The nature of this everything is that ahutva sambhutang hutva nabhavisati. Not being occurred comes to occurrence. Being occurred will not go to occurrence. This is the nature of everything. It means everything is impermanent. Sabbe sankhara anicca. Everything is dissatisfactory. Sabbe sankhara dukkha. All phenomena are selfless. Sabbe Dhamma anatta. This is the way how we practice insight meditation or vipassana bhavana. Daily, whatever we do, we can practice insight meditation. We mostly practice samatha bhavana having a particular posture, but the very important thing, when we practice insight meditation, we don't need to stay in a particular posture. In 4 postures, sitting, standing, walking, lying down, in these 4 postures, we are able to practice insight meditation or vipassana bhavana. It means we reflect on impermanence, arising, ceasing, arising, ceasing. Okay, friends in the Dhamma, today I wanted to explain you the Buddhist meditation, especially samatha and vipassana, concentration and insight meditation, or tranquility and insight meditation, based on sila or virtue. 3 disciplines, sila, samadhi, panya. With details, the Noble Eightfold Path. Samma vaca, samma kammanta, samma ajiva belong to virtue or moral conduct. Samma ditti, samma sankappa belong to panya or wisdom. Samma vayama, samma sati, samma samadhi belong to samadhi khanda or concentration or tranquility. Having these 8 steps, the Noble Eightfold Path, these are the 7 steps of happiness. Aryo Attangiko Maggo. This is the path of liberation. Mindfulness is very important. Mindfulness is the main doctrine what the Blessed One explained for liberation or getting rid of suffering. We also try to practice this path according to what the Blessed One explained, and day by day, if you are able to increase the duration of practicing this path, it means we are reaching the emancipation, liberation, or freedom. For that, I wish you all the best. If you have any Dhamma question, you can ask now. Okay, if not, we are going to end this session. Thank you for your invitation and your good attention. By the power of this path and practice, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May all your spiritual and educational goals meet its success. Finally, may all of us attain the supreme bliss of liberation, Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkham pantaca niddukkha Bhayam pantaca nirbhayam Sokam pantaca nissokam Hontu sabbe pipanino. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation, Nibbana. Sadhu,